Hello and welcome back to another video.
No, seriously, hi. Yeah, sorry. I don't get a lot of opportunity to wear this, and today is a very rare opportunity where I do get to wear it, so I'm wearing it because I love this. It's actually a Christmas present from Jason. This is one of the rare occasions where I do actually have the opportunity to wear it, so I'm wearing it. It's making me feel cozy, and making me feel happy, and I really need the cozy and happy feeling right now. So it's a new week. It's technically Tuesday though, and I didn't get to do my exercises yesterday, but the last 4 days have been crazy hectic. Oh, it's been a nightmare. We were actually getting our windows done yesterday in this house because they are very overdue. These windows have not been changed for 30 plus years. It's been a long time, and some of the windows were still single panel, and it's been a nightmare. And this house isn't ours. This house is technically owned by my mum, and she finally had enough money to get the windows fixed. So we've had a manic few days getting ready to actually get these windows done. Friday night we had to start decluttering, and we did some decluttering of the back bedroom in order to actually get the windows installed, or to give space for the people to install the windows. Then Saturday we had to finish decluttering, so we ended up having to take a lot of stuff to the tip, take a lot of stuff to charity, take a lot of stuff to Jason's old work, because we had loads of swimming floats and stuff that they wanted to have us off us. So we took those to finally get rid of those. And then on Sunday I was meant to walk with my friend Daly, and I turned up for the walk. He didn't turn up, he completely forgot. So we didn't end up going on our walk. And I came home. Jason was meant to have a 30k cycle, but unfortunately Jason had come down with the same cold that I've had for the last week. And so he wasn't in the mood for his 30k. It wasn't a 30k cycle. His was a 30k run. I was going to be cycling alongside him. So we didn't end up doing that. Someone asked us to do something. We ended up doing something else on Sunday, and I can't remember what it was. So instead what we did on Sunday was we carried on decluttering and sorting the house, ready for the people to actually come in and do the windows on the Monday. So we ended up having to take all the curtains down. We had to move everything away from the windows. We've had to rearrange the entire house to make it so that these people can get in and do these damn windows. And then on Monday was a day. So the guys turned up to do the windows, but it was also my uncle's funeral on Monday. Me and my mum and my sisters all went to my uncle's funeral, and bless them, Jason and my dad ended up staying home so they could be here for the window guys, so while the windows got installed. While all the windows and everything were getting done at home, poor Jason was freezing because we had giant holes in the walls that were just letting all sorts of wind through. I have to say though, the house smells much fresher for it. The air feels brilliant in the house right now. But Jason was busy freezing to death on Monday while I and my family were consoling our fellow family members, and primarily my mum and her brothers and my uncle's wife yesterday at the funeral. And it was a really, really lovely send-off. I found out some stuff about my uncle that I didn't know from like his younger years. Like he used to be a DJ. I didn't know that. They had some really, really lovely things to say about him, and I've only got good memories of my uncle. He was always a really nice guy. He was always a brilliant person. To hear such lovely comments about him by everyone was wonderful. He was always such a wonderful person, he really was. I got home from the funeral about 4 or 5 o'clock, and the windows still hadn't been finished. They were still doing them, and the mess in this house was unreal. There was just dust and bits of brick everywhere. But the upstairs section of the windows had been done, so we went upstairs, and Jason, bless him, has spent majority of the day cleaning upstairs. So by the time I got home from the funeral, I was still feeling emotions, and I was tired from all the socialising with my family. I was feeling a bit overwhelmed, so he then had to deal with me just feeling a bit ugh. And then he wanted to declutter, and I just had to say to him, Jason, I'm sorry, I can't declutter right now. I am not in the right headspace for it. So that was fun. And then Monday night I did a little bit of video editing, but other than that we mainly rested from the craziness of the last 4 days, because we've not stopped. These last 4 days have been so busy. And then today was a day. The window guys came by. I say guys because there wasn't any females in the team, but the window guys came and finished the windows today, which was wonderful. So we now have brand new windows. All of the windows in the house are brand new. We've got a brand new front door. We've got a brand new back door. They've done an amazing job. And the weirdest thing is the house is quiet now, like quiet. And it's weird quiet, because previously every single window was broken and had a gap and was causing drafts, and you always heard something. There was always noise in some way, shape or form, and it drove me insane. I could never settle. It always sounded like there was someone nearby me. You could always hear the wind. You could feel the cold because the outside air getting in all the time. And now it's so quiet. This house is so quiet, and it's so weird. It's nice, but at the same time it's weird. I'm not used to the house being this quiet at all. but it's lovely. It really is so peaceful. And there's no drafts anymore. There's no drafts at all. It's so warm in this house now. Like, you can really tell the difference in the temperature and how the house holds the temperature. It doesn't get cold as quickly. It's really nice. It's really nice. So we're quite grateful for that. But anyway, as well as the windows being finished today, I also had a bladder clinic this morning because I believe I mentioned it in previous videos that I've been diagnosed with an overactive bladder. So I had to attend a bladder clinic today to have an assessment and a check over to see whether or not it was medical or whether or not there is something I can potentially do about it. I have been given a bladder diary that I need to fill out over the next 3 days to see what my bladder has been like, what it is getting up to, how often it's going, how much it's going, what I'm drinking on a daily basis, etc, etc. I need to start that tomorrow for 3 days. I've been given several exercises for my bladder, my pelvic floor, and also my brain to try and distract me from the sense of urgency. And I've got loads of stuff that I now need to do for that. And then I went to work, and work has been hell today. Like, the dogs have been wonderful. Couldn't fault the dogs. The dogs were all brilliant today. But my God, the traffic. There's loads of roadworks in my town at the moment, and there was extra roadworks on today. So the traffic was immense. It was crazy. It was gridlocked to heck. It took me an hour and a half to pick up the dogs this morning. And that particular one usually takes me about 45 minutes. So it took me double the length of time. It took me an hour and a half to pick all the dogs up. It took me nearly 2 hours to drop off that same group of dogs. And it only took me about half an hour to pick up my third group. But by that point, I was already very late. And we also had a house viewing later in this afternoon. So it didn't help that by the time I'd finished dropping off all my dogs, I only had 30 minutes to try and get to the house viewing. And because of the traffic, my ETA was telling me 40 minutes to do what should have been a 20-minute drive. I was getting a bit stressed and getting a bit frustrated, but then I found out that the estate agent was also in that same traffic. So it's like, it's fine. It's fine. If they're in the same traffic, they're going through the same problems, it's all good. So we all ended up turning up late to the house viewing, and we had a look around this house, and it's very, very similar to the house we're actually trying to buy. And that's one of the reasons we went to view it, is because A, we're starting to get a bit impatient with still waiting. And on top of that, it's a very similar layout. It's got very similar rooms. It's a very similar style, but it's also fully done up and essentially ready to move in. So we thought we could get a good idea of what the house we're trying to buy might look like once it's all done up, or if this house is good enough, we might even potentially want to go for it. We had a good look around the house, and it was fantastic. Couldn't fault it. It was 5-bedroom, and it was really lovely, and it was really nice. The rooms were all small compared to the house we're going for, but they were comfortable. Like, they were comfortable sizes. You could easily move around in them. Then, however, when we were actually looking around the house, we did notice there was a bit of damp and mold, and the estate agent was wonderfully honest, and he openly said there is some damp and mold here around the door. And then Jason's mum found more black mold around the corner near where the damp and the mold in the door was, or in the front door was. So that's put us off attempting to go for the property at its current price. But we have said that if the property is still in the market in 2 or 3 months' time, and the seller is willing to come down by about 5 to 6 grand, then we might consider taking on that property. But in its current condition, we wouldn't pay the full price, the full asking price for it as of now, and the seller's not willing to go below that asking price as of yet. We're going to leave that and see if it's still in the market in a couple of months. And if it's in the market a couple of months, we might consider it. But we have decided to still wait for the property we're trying to move into. But as I was saying, because of all the traffic from work today, and because of the house viewing this afternoon, I didn't get home until after 6 o'clock. Long after 6 o'clock. And as soon as I got home, Jason, bless him, had gone to Tesco and got pizzas for us, like the little stone-baked pizzas you can get from Tesco that are like £5. He got us a pizza each, and we had a nice little pizza to ourselves. And that was because the house was in such a mess, and there was just dust and bits everywhere. We couldn't physically use the kitchen safely and hygienically. Jason again has spent 90% of today running around trying to clean the house after the demolition from the windows getting done. And to be fair, the guys did do a good job, but they couldn't help the fact that it was a mess in here. But finally, it's all over. It's done. The stress is gone. We have better windows. The house is warmer. The house is quieter by a long way. The bladder clinic is over and I now know what I need to do to try and help my bladder without going down the medication route. We now feel more confident and comfortable in our decision for the house that we're going for, although we are still keeping our options open. And a lot of other things are happening. And you know what? I'm knackered. And Jason's currently dancing. That's very good. What's the name of that dance? Chaplin? No, not Chaplin. No, that's the twerk. Anyway, while Jason's busy distracting me, we are going to have a rest for the rest of the night. I'm going to focus on video editing, and once I have de-stressed and calmed down from the crazy of the last 4 days, then I am going to worry about exercising and everything tomorrow. That's what's been happening the last 4 days. I just thought I'd catch you up. That's just cheeky. I thought I'd catch you up with what's going on, and I will be back to normal tomorrow with my exercise. So I don't know whether or not that's going to be in the same video because I've been talking for quite a while, or whether or not it's going to be in the next video. But either way, it will be in either a few seconds or in my next video. But you know what? Sometimes you need a short burst of stress to be able to have a day of peace. I've had 4 or 5 days of stress. So tomorrow's going to be my day of peace.